up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian? How's it going?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I am hanging in there. It was a rough week.
Death came for you twice so far.
Right?
Has come for you twice this year, and you've been able to fight it back both times. I'm proud of you.
Grim Reaper thought he had me, but he forgot that, I before I get sick, or as I'm getting sick, I always just completely cover my body in Vaseline so I can slide out much
Smart.
easier. So can't touch this. No, man, I don't know what it is. So, well, I had the big dog, like COVID, back in January. And pretty much since then, I think I don't know what you call it, if it's a side effect or something, but a long-term side effect, I think it just completely destroyed my immune system, because I'm used to getting sick maybe once a year, sometimes twice, but
About the same.
I never get sick. I've been sick so many times since January. It is not even funny. I had COVID in January, and then I've pretty much gotten at least sick once a month, if not last month I got sick twice, because right after the Orlando trip, and then 2 weeks later, last week, I got sick again. I'm like, what is the deal? Why am I always sick? I hate it.
COVID and your immune system was like the Battle of Helm's Deep. That was your immune system had been waiting for that day your entire life, and it gave everything it had.
It gave everything.
And there's nothing left. Now it has to rebuild. That's why it's so susceptible now.
Yeah, because last week was just simple flu. I didn't test positive for COVID or anything, but it it felt worse than COVID, honestly, though. There was times I'm like, how in the world did I test negative on
Can
this?
I get some of that COVID, please?
I'd rather have the COVID was easier. The COVID was nicer, Oh man, no, man. It sucked. But you know what? I'm alive. I'm here. I might cough here and there, so I apologize to audio listeners who just ears are gonna get destroyed. No, I'll try to mute my mic whenever I do. But how you holding up? I editing last week's show. I didn't watch the whole thing. I honestly was still sick when I was editing it, so I just threw some stuff in there and just sent it out. Hoped it for the best. But how are you doing? How was the show last week? Did you guys take good care of my baby? Or
so far so good. I had my own fox die a little while ago. Still doing okay from that. Haven't had any complications or anything since then. My big thing now is allergies. I am a big sufferer of allergies. I get the whole nine, the runny nose, watery eyes, sneezing like crazy. It gets to a point where I have to make it part of my daily routine after I get up and start getting ready. Go pop a couple of allergy pills to get ready for the day.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like when you leave the house, you got to do, you normally do phone, keys, wallet. You got to do phone, keys, wallet, allergy medicine.
And Flonase.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah, I used to get horrendous allergies growing up as a kid. And then after I moved out of the country for a couple of years and moved back, they were great for a long time. But then we moved and lived in Modesto for a few years. And that Central Valley, California area.
I was just going to say, getting that California air right back into you.
Because it's all the agriculture, all the almond blossoms and everything there. Or during harvest season, they shake the trees. And so it's basically you just live in it looks like Mad Max for about a month or two. Because they're just shaking all the dust. You live in a desert. All the trees are dusty. They shake all the trees. All the dust goes in the air. You breathe it in. Oh, the worst. Yeah, I get you. I that totally brought back my allergies. I'm like, great. All right, cool. I'm right back to where I was before.
Yep. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Fun. Man, yeah. Well, JJ is unfortunately not with us tonight. He had something come up, but I know he originally texted me yesterday. He's like, I know I'll work tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll see you. I'll be there. We'll be able to start at our normal time. And then he texted me a little bit ago. He's like, it's not going to work out. I'm like, okay, no worries.
One day he has off, he can't be bothered.
Freaking guy.
Come on.
It's almost,
what are we?
It's starting to feel like he's avoiding us now. Like it's intentional. He's like, I
tell you what, when it comes,
you know what it is? He has his own podcast now. He's
That's
trying to
just
get
what
out
I was
of
getting
our
ready to
show.
say.
Yeah,
I was going to say, when it comes to talking wrestling, oh boy, I'll be there until 2 a.m.
Yep, that's exactly.
But let him
what
have
it
to
is.
come on and do the main show. Oh boy, guys, I gotta work. I gotta work 98 hours this week.
Nah, he's just too good for us now. He's like, I got my own show. I don't need to screw with those guys anymore. Like, forget it. So, yeah.
It was a long con.
Whatever. It's fine. By the way, if you haven't heard, JJ has his own show brought to you by the Super Gamer Boys. It is the Suplex City Wrestling Podcast. You can find that at any and all podcast services available now. The first 2 episodes are up. There is a preview of WrestleMania 38, and then episode 1 was basically they did night 1 after WrestleMania, and then I think the next episode comes out this week. It comes out every Friday. They're going to be talking about day 2, so they kind of split it up over 2 weeks. That way, it wasn't a huge honking 2.5 hour episode.
Smart.
So
good Mania, by the way, really good Mania. First one I've watched all the way through in a long time.
Really? Okay.
Had a ball. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I've never watched. I honestly think I could say I've never watched even a wrestling match, not even a single, nothing on I was flipping through the channels on TV and saw something nothing, zero. I feel like other than
if you suspend your disbelief, I think you'll have a good time.
Because I always love UFC. So I love, I like fighting.
UFC, this is not.
I understand that, but I think having the fighting connection there with it being more on the entertainment side, I think I'm with you there. I think I could totally see me possibly falling in love with it just because it's I already like the fighting aspect of things, and if you throw in the goofy, silly, over the top entertainment aspect of it, it could probably is really fun. I've just never given it a chance.
Next year's WrestleMania is in LA, Garrett. I'm saying. Imagine doing that
a
would,
super.
You know how much gold that would be for JJ?
My first time. That's what I should do. I should not watch anything, and then my very first time ever being exposed to wrestling is just go to WrestleMania. That's what I should do.
I meant start watching now and try to get into it, so that way when WrestleMania comes around next year, you'll want to go and we can go.
Okay, I was thinking it'd be even funnier. Just
you got to work your way up to WrestleMania, dude.
What is happening here?
No.
And just me commentating, take the vlogging camera and just commentate the whole thing. I have no idea what's going on.
Why is that guy jumping on? Why is he climbing on the ropes? How come they don't stay in the ring?
What is happening? This is so confused the entire time. Oh man. All right, but yeah, so no JJ tonight, but go catch his podcast if you miss him that much. But today, we're going to be talking about the first look at Kingdom Hearts 4. Woo! That's right. Remedy announcing Max Payne remakes, and Ghost Recon getting a new sequel. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Jr, Bleep Bloop, and Eddie Martin. And also shout out to our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, you can go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there, starting at just $1 a month. You can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, as well as our other show hosted by Adrian, Super Gamer Book Club. Let me see. The episode, was that just last week or 2 weeks ago now? I think it was 2 weeks ago. The new episode of Book Club is out. Streets of Rage 4 with Eddie Martin. Tons of fun. And that's a special episode where normally
live gameplay.
Normally it's just audio only, but you're we were talking, we're you know what? It's a co-op game. Let's give it a shot. So you can listen to an audio only version where because we do kind of keep up conversation, chit chat about the games and stuff like that. But There's a fun live gameplay aspect of it. If you go and support us on Patreon, you get the YouTube link, the private YouTube link to that video there, and you can watch the gameplay alongside our little talking back and forth. On the free feed as well, if you don't want to support us over Patreon, this month's episode is Super Mario Odyssey with Pocket. It came out back in December. Go check that out. That's also a fantastic episode. So if you're unsure of whether you want to support us or not, get those episodes early, ad-free. Then check out the free feed. Search Super Gamer Boys on any podcast service and you'll find it there. We'll talk more about our Patreon later. But first, I also want to give a quick shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Very much appreciated. They are amazing artists, and you should go check out their stuff on Spotify and Apple Music. Their links to the Spotify is in the show description below. All right. It's now time to check the mail.
Now, Garrett, did you get the package that I sent you with the questions in it? I had to send it through the CDC because they wouldn't let regular mail go to your house since you were like,
oh, yeah, it was full on like Monsters Inc. 2319 situation over here. They shut it all down.
Exactly. So I'm wondering, did it get through, or do I have to? Is it held up in customs?
They sent me this, but let me tell you, like, it was looking pretty worse for wear, as you can see. Like they tore it up pretty good. So I mean,
I guess they had to inspect it.
Yeah, it wasn't looking pretty. But it seemed like an awful big box just for a document. You know, you just sent me the questions. Was there supposed to be something else?
I had to make sure that I had to make sure it was gonna make it. I know how rough those government types can be with packages, so I wanted to make sure.
All right, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, like, you didn't mean to put in a fun little gift or surprise. They're like, hey, sorry you're sick. Have some, I don't know, $50.
I wanted all your concentration until you got that letter. I wanted all your concentration on trying to stay death's hand.
Okay, all right. I understand. You know what? And here I am because of it, probably. So
you're welcome.
Thank you. This first question on here comes from Sir Prince-a-Lot, and he asked, is there something more immersive than VR on the way? Is that even possible? What's the next groundbreaking type of gaming going to be? So he's really asking us to, like, open up our minds, think outside the box. We're not talking about now. We're not even talking about 5-10 years from now. What is the next big thing, the future of gaming that we can look forward to that goes beyond controller, goes beyond visuals? What are we seeing here? What would you think?
Do you remember? This is going to be a shot in the dark here. It was either around PS2 or PS3 times, and there was this weird commercial that Sony put out. And it was this guy who had this orb, and he was like, welcome to PlayStation 9. Do you remember what I'm talking about? And it was like an orb that like transported you like into the game world. It was like this total goofy ad, right? That they were like showing the what's the word? Potential of PlayStation and what it could be, you know, because it's so powerful now.
Right.
But I honestly think it may not be a tiny little orb, but I do think it's going to be something to where maybe you step into a space like a holodeck and somehow it connects to your nervous system and your senses, and you're able to touch stuff, smell stuff, hear, see stuff that isn't there. It's not necessarily a headset, I don't think. I think it'll be where you can go, like if you see an item in the space, you can go and pick it up and use it.
Right. Yeah, I could see. I mean, I think the next plausible thing is VR, but kind of like what we did at that VR place here in San Diego, where it is like a whole room. Like, I think that's kind of like the next thing is like, I mean, obviously space is a restriction for some people, but I think that technology will become more and more commonplace for people who do have the room for it, at least. Like, okay, they can turn a garage into their VR space, or they, or whatever it might be.
I honestly, I think that would be the next border.
I think that's the next step, but even still, that's still technically VR. So I mean, there is like holographic technology out there. I mean, they've brought various celebrities to life on stages to do musical performances and stuff. Like I always think of like the Michael Jackson deal and stuff like that. Like that's not unheard of to like have to do holographic stuff. So beyond VR, like I think you're onto something there where it is going to be like, okay, there's going to be images projected around your room, and it's going to be janky at first. I don't think it's going to be full on immersive, like, oh, I'm in this new world. I think it very much will be like kind of janky looking and like almost like a 2D, 3D space, if that makes sense, like with the images and stuff. But yeah, I think that could be like, kind of the next foray until technology is good enough to do full 3D spaces, I guess. But yeah, I think the VR technology is going to get more and more immersive first, though. I think that VR is a long way to go as far as implementing like feeling wind and heat and smells and stuff like that while you're in like a larger VR room. That's the kind of thing like I am totally down for, and I think is probably going to be coming next, hopefully. But obviously, who knows?
Somebody out there, I know I'm not crazy, dude. Somebody out there has to know what I'm talking about with that commercial. So I feel like it was like right before PS2 came out.
I Googled it while you were asking about it. I did find it here. It was in fact a PlayStation 2 commercial. It came out in it was up. This one was uploaded on 2013. So that's obvious.
But it came out like right before PS2, and I remember it was a little orb thing, and he like cracked it open, and then like the game world came out of it.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah,
and it was like, welcome to PlayStation 9.
Yeah, I have it here. I found it. So yeah, if you just go to YouTube, type in PlayStation 2 commercial PS9, it comes up on PlayStation Lifestyle's YouTube channel. And let me tell you, just like skimming through it, it's like so crazy. But
it's crazy now, but in 50 years, in 100 years, it might be commonplace. Who knows?
True. That's true. Let's see
having a near DSLR quality camera in a phone, in a telephone, versus also in a telephone that can fit in your pocket was crazy 50 years ago. And it's, we don't even think about it anymore.
It was crazy 10 years ago.
Right.
Honestly, like, cause like cameras were in phones 10 years ago, but they were not DSLR quality. They were not great.
Right. People were still using separate point and shoot cameras.
Right. Cause
outside of their phone.
Cause their iPhone, like, although it could take pictures, it was not great.
Right.
That was right.
But now you think about it, and it's so ingrained in society now, that way that we use these kinds of things, that we don't even think about it as like an innovation anymore. But when you really think about it, like, it's wild that there's literally a computer in your pocket that can access the world's information and take pictures so real, so real. Of course they're real, you know what I mean? Yeah. So high quality,
right? That
you can pretty much use them as prints. And you would, if you told somebody 50 years ago that you took a portrait and it was on your phone, they'd probably lock you up and think you were an alien. To be quite honest.
Or even like this, the video camera too, like using it for like video and stuff like that. The fact that I can do like 4K 60, like people are using it for full on like cinema movies and stuff like that. Like, it's totally like people are using it for vlogging, for YouTube channels. Like, it has such versatility and such high quality. It's incredible. Technology is insane.
So I'm not ruling out that PS9 could actually do this.
Yeah.
We'll see when we get there.
You know how awesome that would be is if they actually like did it, and like the commercial that they use is just that commercial. Like they just
reuse it.
They just up-res it, obviously, because it's like like even on this, like I'm looking at it. It's
fair,
it is like crappy 360p quality. But
if we go by average console generations, right, which is about 5 years, and we just started PS5. So if we were going by that time, by the time we get to PlayStation 9, it'll be about 20, 25 years from now.
Yes.
Now, clearly it's not going to be, little spores that go and attach yourself to your brain.
Maybe.
Well, I guess so. But it's going to be hard to fathom what PlayStation 9 looks like. Right. When I'm sitting here as a 50-something-year-old man.
2052.
But we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
PS9. Yeah, we'll get there one day. We'll get there.
We may not get there, but we as a people will get there.
You don't think you have another 25 years on your life?
No, I mean like to get to where the ad is, like PlayStation 9, where I open it and it takes over your brain.
All right. Sir Princess also asked, what's a movie you love that folks might not know about? For me, it's Legends of the Fall. Interesting. What about you, Adrian? For me, I think I would have to pick. I think it's Disney. I always get confused whether it's Disney or Pixar. I love Coco.
I can tell you. Ooh, everybody knows about Coco.
It doesn't say. Okay, now I guess it depends. How are we reading the question? I guess I
read it again as he wrote it.
Because what's a movie you love that folks might not know about? I guess I read it as people don't normally know that I like that movie. Because all I talk about is like, one of my favorite movies, or like Quentin Tarantino or Dark Knight, or like stuff like that. Like Lord of the Rings. I never talk about that I love Coco.
Oh, okay.
As far as a movie that people don't know about, now I need to think on it a little bit. That's different.
Okay. My movie that I love that people may not know too much about is a 1992 movie called Toys, starring Robin Williams, where he plays the son of he's an heir to like a toy factory. What's the word? What do they say? Heir to the
throne?
Not a throne, but like when somebody's an heir to their family business, like Paris Hilton is the heir to the Hilton, whatever it is, whatever that
like
word is.
The estate?
I guess. Yeah. And he has a passion for creating toys, and I don't want to give it away too much, but it's really well done. It's, in my opinion, it's definitely, 90s cheesy movie, but there was a scene that I really like where his father ends up passing away. This is the start of the movie, and they're having the service for him, and all of a sudden the casket starts laughing. Mind you, this is 92. This is before anybody was doing this kind of joke, and he had the chattering teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a pair of those in there, and they had to open the casket and get him out, and everybody was laughing because he was just, that's the kind of person his dad was, is like he liked to see people have fun and laugh. So like he did one last joke on the way out, and that was the start of the movie. And I was like, oh, this is going to be something. And I really dug it. So yeah, check it out. Robin Williams in Toys. And it actually has a pretty stacked cast. I think, let me pull it up. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Joan Cusack is in it. LL Cool J is in it. Jamie Foxx is in it. Michael Gambon is in it. So,
yeah,
trust me, it's not like cinema gold or anything, but I have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Man, I was trying to think more about it. So here's the deal. Like, I just don't watch a lot of movies. Like, unless it's like a big blockbuster deal, like, especially now, like anything in the last 15 years, it's either Marvel or DC pretty much is all I watch. Like, I don't sit and watch movies. I don't watch TV. Like, video games is my entertainment. Like, that's what I go to for entertainment. Once in a while, a TV show, like I watch something with my wife. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of. Oh, you know what? No, I do have one. Oh, shoot. But what's the name of it? Okay, I need you to vamp for like 2 seconds. It's a documentary. And it's really good.
A documentary, is it like real life or is it a mockumentary? Or?
No, it's real life. but it's about this street photographer. And I watched it actually just recently, but I tell you what, like I fell in love with this photographer, and I've been like, yeah, just absolutely in love with it.
If you're getting ready to say Garrett Morlang, I'm going to turn this podcast off.
No.
Okay.
Dang it. I wish I could remember what the name of it is. It'll come to me later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be talking about something completely different. You'll be like, oh, that guy.
There's a documentary about this street photographer that's fantastic, and because the guy is such a character. Like he's so he actually like grew up with the guys from like the Beastie Boys, and he was like friends with the friends of the Beastie Boys. And so he would just like go hang out with them when they did shows, and he got in the whole like Run DMC crowd and all that stuff. And he became like their photographer, basically, like kind of unofficial behind the scenes photographer at all their shows and all their tours. And he had just this personality. Like he didn't ask questions. He was like, did things, but he was like goofy and silly. Everyone just loved him because he was like, I'm funny. Let's screw around. Okay. I'm going to take a picture. Don't mind me. Don't look at me. I don't know. He's just like such a interesting character that everyone just loved. And he had a great sense of humor, and he was just an incredible photographer. Like the shots he got for their shows were just fantastic. So now I'm really going to look up the name of it, because now that I've talked about it, everyone's going to be like, well, what is it? Now I got to watch it. So, but
if you can't remember it now, just make sure you put it in the Discord later.
Oh no. I'll figure it out by the end of the show. Let me tell you. This next question, if you could choose what game that either came out this year or is announced to be the next Minecraft or GTA, what game would it be? This is from Kid Jr., as you can tell, because it's the way it's worded. So what I think he's trying to say is there's a game that's coming out this year, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Which game from this year that's going to either has come out or is about to come out would you want to be the next, he says, Minecraft or GTA thing, which I think he's getting at. What's the next blockbuster? What should be the next blockbuster? What's going to be that big game that for the next 15 years, like it's just flying off the shelves, number one?
That I want it to be?
Yes, I think that's the gist of it.
Boy. I'm tempted to just come right out and say Tunic, but...
Okay. Did you see the hate Tunic was getting in the Discord?
From who? Oh, from Hollow Knight Man?
Old Eddie Martin over there. He was just not feeling it, apparently.
He's got some rough seas ahead of him. If nothing else is ever going to beat Hollow Knight, I tell you what. You know what? A game that technically came out this year that I'll say is an honorable mention that I wish would have come out and hit like it was supposed to is definitely Cyberpunk. I really wish Cyberpunk would have hit like it was supposed to hit.
Okay, like with the relaunch on next gen stuff, like when it kind of. Okay, yeah, I'm with you there. That would have been really cool if it actually came around and became worth playing. Because yeah, it really got screwed over. Boy, for me, I think so apparently, let me double check real quick. I'm just going to Google 2022 games, because I think this game's coming out this year, if I remember right. Okay, yeah. So as of right now, the tentative date, it doesn't have a date, but the year is 2022 for Redfall, which is by Arcane Studios, that multiplayer, or the upcoming first-person shooter video game by Arcane Studios, published by Bethesda. Supposed to come out this summer. It's like the vampire like looking thing.
They had that preview at the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, it was at E3 last year at their showcase. I kind of hope that comes out and actually just blows up and is incredible. Because right now, I don't know, I kind I kind of get similar vibes as to Back for Blood a little bit with it. Not entirely. Like I think there's a little bit more going for Redfall with like some cool like special abilities and stuff like that. And you can play as I think you can play as either vampires or the hunters, just from what I understand, at least in multiplayer.
And there's an actual, I think there's an actual like there's a plot, right?
There's an actual plot, but for me is like I felt like Back 4 Blood came out, and everyone was stoked about it because it was it's Left 4 Dead, it's back, and then it just petered off very quickly. Like I feel like
that's what I was getting ready to say. I even played Back 4 Blood, and man, that game. There's no like other way to describe it other than it came out and it was, people tried it to see what it was for a little bit, and then it just kind of fell off. It kind of flopped. I don't hear anybody talking about Back 4 Blood anymore. Yeah, no, you never hearing about it. And so I just don't want this game to have a similar fate. And I know it's completely different developers. For all I know, it could be completely different games, but it's easy. I think it's easy to, at first glance, to be like, oh, those could almost be similar things, just instead of zombies, it's vampires. But I hope this is different, and I hope this comes out and is a banger. And just for the next however many years, like they just keep coming out with awesome DLC for it, and it can turn into like a big multiplayer hit. I hope it has a good story. Like I hope everything just nails it, which it could. Like it's Arcane, which is a great developer, being published by Bethesda. We know they put out good stuff, so we'll see. But that's my pick. Right on. The last question here. Eddie Martin comes in and asks, give me your Mount Rushmore of video game sidekicks. This is a tough one. You look like you got something brewing.
Oh, I do. So I think mine are Otacon, Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Sully from Uncharted.
Okay.
Diddy Kong from Donkey Kong Country, specifically, because that's just the main game I've played my entire life, and I love it so much. And Luigi is just like top tier.
I don't know about calling Luigi a sidekick now. Come on now. They call it Super Mario Brothers, not Mario and his sidekick.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone plays as Mario, right?
Because they only let you until you beat it, and then you could play as Luigi. Come on now. Yeah,
but there's a reason for that, because he's
because they save the best for last. That's why.
And in every game, every other game, even besides Super Mario Brothers, like he's always like the sidekick. Other than Luigi's Mansion, like that's like
I was getting ready to say. I'm sorry. Does he not have a trilogy to his name?
He
Put
does.
some respect on my green-hatted man.
He's a sidekick.
He is not a. Look. I refuse to call Luigi a sidekick. He is no one's second banana. He is a Mario brother through and through. He is on that box just like Mario is.
Okay. That's my pick. I'm sticking to it. Can't change my name. Can't change my name.
Okay. Sidekicks. Yikes! I was not ready for this one. Now one of mine is definitely a twofer. I don't know if you want to count them as a pair because they're always with you. But it would have to be Donald and Goofy.
Okay.
That goes, without saying. I would also put.
You're talking from Kingdom Hearts, obviously.
I would also put. People like to clown her, but I really think Navi is a really good sidekick.
I almost said
I know,
Navi
like
as well.
the hey, listen is a really fun bit. Ha ha ha! I get it. But it's honestly not that annoying. So that's 3, and then oh man, for 4. This is tough.
So wait, you had Donald and Goofy, Navi. What was the other one?
This is the one. This is the last one I'm trying to think.
Okay. So you split up Donald and Goofy. Okay.
I mean, unless you want to count them as an item.
You do whatever you want to do. It's
and then
your Mount Rushmore.
Now, if you want to talk sidekicks, I would have given you Yoshi.
I did almost say Yoshi, but I just feel like Luigi's the real sidekick. He's always there by Mario's side.
You could argue that Mario is by Luigi's side.
No, you cannot.
Okay, watch.
It's literally
Discord
called
is gonna eat
Super
you alive.
Mario Brothers, not called Super Luigi Brothers, okay?
It's called Super Mario what?
Brothers.
Right.
But they don't even bother listing Luigi's name because he's the sidekick.
Their last name is Mario. We've been over this.
No way.
What are you talking about?
So Mario's name is Mario?
Have you not known this?
That is
Look it up.
No
Look
way.
it up. Look it up right now. Look it up right now. Type in what is Mario's
last name? 2 months after Iwata's death in July 2015, Miyamoto changed his stance, asserting at the Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary Festival that Mario's full name was indeed Mario.
Thank you very much. I know what I'm talking about. That's why they stand as equals.
Okay, is Luigi Mario's sidekick?
Now that's subjective.
Let's see.
Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
On the Marioverse wiki, Luigi is the sidekick and younger
That's
brother
the
of Mario.
wiki. That's not an official source.
I mean, who's to say?
Oh, I got one. What's her name? Come on, brain. Elizabeth.
What?
Elizabeth Comstock from BioShock Infinite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't finish that game, but I played a good chunk of it. She is a very good sidekick.
You should go back.
I know. I need to go back.
Especially
Everyone,
the DLC.
Everyone tells me I need to play the BioShock Infinite. This is so. I just didn't like it. It was not the same. Didn't feel the same to me.
I wouldn't want it to be.
But I just love the first one so much. By the way, I remember the documentary now. It's called Ricky Powell, the Individualist.
Okay.
You should go watch it. Ricky Powell boasts a quintessential New York story, rising to fame as a street photographer in the 80s and 90s and touring with the Beastie Boys, capturing some of the wildest moments in pop culture. Which is what was crazy, too, is while they were filming it, he actually passed away. So he's in most of the documentary. And then they basically end it with when he died unexpectedly, I think just last year or in 2020 or something. It's great. Like, you just out of the blues. And it was kind of a crazy way to end the documentary, like, because he's in the whole thing talking, and then they ended it with the launch of a book, his art book, and with him passing away. But go watch that documentary. Very good. Okay. Well, that's enough of that freaking Mario business. That's ridiculous.
You're welcome. You learn something new every day.
I think it's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
All right. Fantastic. My browser here is freezing, so I'm trying to bring up the article. I apologize. Here we go. First article comes from Polygon, written by Michael McWhirter. Kingdom Hearts 4 announced will kick off Sora's new story arc. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are back.
Let's go!
The next mainline Kingdom Hearts game, Kingdom Hearts 4, is now in development. Square Enix announced Sunday during a 20th anniversary live stream for the franchise. A new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 confirms the return of Sora, Donald, and Goofy for a brand new adventure and what Square Enix calls an epic new storyline named Lost Master Arc. Kingdom Hearts 4's first trailer introduces the Quadratum, which, while looking a lot like Tokyo, is described by Square Enix as an expansive city set in a gorgeous, realistic world, unlike anything ever seen before in the Kingdom Hearts series. The trailer also introduces Kingdom Hearts fans to Strelitzia, a new character. Square Enix did not announce a release date or platforms for Kingdom Hearts 4. First screenshots of the new Kingdom Hearts are in the gallery below. And they also announced another game that's for Android and iOS devices, but apparently people don't care about that.
Well, they should, because clearly the mobile games matter. So Strelitzia, the red hair girl, is from the mobile game. So
okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So a lot of people who see, these are the same people who saying that are the same ones who are like, I played Kingdom Hearts, I played 1, 2, and 3, and I don't get it at all. Gee, I wonder why you don't get it.
See, that's why I'm so scared to play Kingdom Hearts, because there's like 30 of them I gotta play.
But you have all of them, though. You can't miss anything.
Yeah,
you have the whole pack.
I do. That is true.
It's the people who are like, I don't get it. I played 1, and then I played 2, and then all of a sudden, all these new people were there. Gee, interesting.
Now, Adrian, were you expecting to get a new Kingdom Hearts mainline title?
Not at all.
Did you? I have not played the Kingdom Hearts trilogy. Well, and as you're saying just now, I haven't played any
series
of the series. Did they end the series kind of definitely, kind of in a way that made you would think it would? It was like, okay, they're probably wrapping it up, or did they end on a cliffhanger?
No, they ended on. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a cliffhanger, because they kind of. So I'm not gonna say anything because I still want you to play them.
Okay,
but
all right. I thought I could trick you.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, right. I'm steel trap, buddy. Especially when it comes to this stuff. Kingdom Hearts 3 ends a certain saga that's been going on since the first game.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 4 starts a new saga it has elements from previous things in the old games, but basically this is like a big, you can almost say this is like Act 2 or Phase 2. You know how like Marvel has like Phase 2?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this would be like Phase 2 for Kingdom Hearts as a whole.
Crazy.
So this new these new mobile games that are coming out and Kingdom Hearts 4 are all part of that Phase 2, and they're all equally important. So if you're like me and you've been keeping up, make sure you play those mobile games when they come out, because I guarantee you those characters are going to come up in a game somewhere and they're going to have expected you to play the whole thing. So just keep your eyes peeled on that one.
So crazy.
But overall, I'm stoked that we are getting Kingdom Hearts 4 this quickly. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was an outlier in how long it took for development to happen for it. Granted, we did get a few games while it was being developed, but I think we're going to end up seeing Kingdom Hearts 4 a lot sooner than people think. I'm thinking maybe within the next 2, I'll say 3 years tops.
Really?
I think it'll be out. Yeah.
Okay. Crazy.
Well, just, from what I've seen here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I really dig that we're centering the game on this art style that they've picked, where it looks much more like Final Fantasy than it does like Kingdom Hearts.
I retweeted it earlier. I thought it was really funny. From how do you find that stuff on Twitter? I retweeted it, but it's not there. Anyways, I guess we'll never see it again. Someone earlier mentioned, I wish I could remember. It was, I'm used to getting like all the Disney characters and stuff. And now there's like Forza cars in there. I just laughed at that. That was pretty funny. But yeah, the art style is drastically different.
Right. And it's also because he's in a new world, but I really feel like they're going to stick with this going forward. At least with this saga. I think they're going to center it around this kind of art style, and this this new quadratum, I think, is going to be like a new hub world for things to base themselves off of. But we'll see.
Yeah. Now I'm also interested though in kind of picking your brain about this, because the whole thing of Kingdom Hearts has always been kind of like the Final Fantasy in Disney mashup, essentially. I mean, with its own slate of like original characters as well, but you know, kind of like Final Fantasy and Disney World's showing up here and there, and Disney more prominently. How do you think that works out with this new art style, or are they kind of like moving away from the Disney thing, and are they going to focus just on the more Final Fantasy worlds now? Like maybe it's going to be a whole saga of like focus on Final Fantasy.
See, my good man, this is where the fun begins, actually.
Okay.
So some eagle-eyed people happen to catch that one of the locations in the trailer, if you look closely in the corner, you will see the foot piece of an all-terrain armored transport vehicle. And those vehicles only exist in one franchise, baby. And it looked like Endor. And I think you know where I'm going.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Star Wars into it?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. So it's sounding like that they're going to be going to more realistic locations. So we're probably going to be getting Star Wars. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we got some kind of Marvel related stuff in there.
Oh man, imagine having like a Marvel world.
Which is why I think that they switched over to this more realistic, because cartoony Sora would not fit in he looked way out of place in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, but it kind of worked because they did this weird, like realistic, like what if these cartoons jumped into the real world type thing.
Okay.
But now they look like actual people. So I think it's going to work a lot better when they mesh those styles together.
Dang.
But I definitely think they're going to be going with whatever Disney worlds that they go to. It's going to be a much more realistic tone of them.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. So that's going to be the fun part. And then also, because we're choosing this more realistic Final Fantasy art style, I think you can use more of the latter Final Fantasy characters. So your 12s, your 13s, your 15s, I think you can definitely incorporate them into the story now. So you still get that Final Fantasy element as well. And then you'll still have Donald and Goofy with you, and you'll be going to Disney worlds to keep the Disney element too. So
okay,
we'll still get all of our stuff. It's just going to be a lot more shiny and a lot more detailed than normal.
That's crazy.
And I'm excited.
Man, well, yeah, when I saw that trailer initially, I was like, no way, Adrian's got to be losing his mind right now. And honestly, after watching it, like, I was like, okay, like, I don't know what's going on because I haven't played any of them. I only played like half of the first one. I honestly was like, I'm stoked. I need to finish these games. I need to finish the game. I need to start. Yeah, you're right. I need to start these games. I need to finish these games because this looks wild. Like I want to be able to like, you know, intelligently talk about it when it comes out. I think that would be so much fun because it looks different.
Plenty of time. You got plenty of time before 4 comes out.
Yeah, but I also have to figure out how to platinum Death Stranding director's cut this year. I need to figure out how
That's easy to do. Easy pickings.
I need to figure out how to beat Elden Ring this year. I need to figure out
easy pickings.
Yeah,
you could beat Elden Ring by June if you really sat down and did it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, crazy stuff, totally out of nowhere. I'm excited for all you Kingdom Hearts fans out there. You get this sick new trailer.
And I'm excited for all you future ones.
Yeah. It's always on sale. Like, I feel like at least once a month, if not.
It's a steal. You could,
it's like,
what is it, like $26? Sometimes I've seen it as low as 20 and you get everything.
Yeah. It'll go down to $20 and it's, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and all like the in-between crazy stuff that you were talking about, like Birth by Sleep and 358 over 2 or whatever it is. Like,
they make sense when you play the games, okay?
Yeah, so you get all the side stuff. So keep an eye out because at least on PlayStation, it's always on sale, like for $20. I feel like I saw it the other day, even for like even cheaper. But who knows? Check it out. Get hyped. Watch a trailer. Go play the games. And now it's time to move on to the next story, which is Remedy. is remaking Max Payne 1 and 2 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. The two Max Payne games will come as a single package and run on the engine Remedy used for Control. This comes from Steve Watts over at GameSpot. And yeah, they're right. A remake of the Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, is coming from Remedy Entertainment. The studio behind the original Max Payne games has reached an agreement with Rockstar to remake both games for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. The remakes will come as a single release using the Northlight game engine, which was used for Quantum Break and Control. You shouldn't expect it to come anytime soon, though, as the announcement notes, it's only in the concept development stage. We were thrilled when our longtime friends at Remedy approached us about remaking the original Max Payne games, said Rockstar founder Sam Houser in the announcement. We are massive fans of the work the Remedy team has created over the years, and we can't wait to play these new versions. Max Payne was notable for its neo-noir setting and bullet time gameplay, which became a mainstay in several other games of the same era. The two games were followed by Max Payne 3, which was developed internally at Rockstar. So I saw this and was super excited about it, and then I was like, oh shoot, remember what they just did to Grand Theft Auto. Is that a worry that crossed your mind when you saw this?
It was until I remember that it's not like Rockstar Prime working on it.
Okay. Yeah, that is true.
Because Remedy has proven themselves a few times now with Alan Wake, with Control. So they know what they're doing. It's really Rockstar that I need to just stay out of the way. Like, if you want them to make this game or remake these games, let them remake those games and you go do something else. And when they're done with it, they'll come show you, but leave them alone.
Yeah. I was super excited at first, especially when they said they're using the engine from Control. So it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. That's for sure. But then that thought hit me like, oh, they just butchered the Grand Theft Auto. Like, is this going to be all right? But yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head where the Grand Theft Auto remakes were done internally, or it was kind of overseen internally by Rockstar, where this seems to be a complete thing from Remedy's perspective. Like, Remedy is the ones who are doing this, and they're the ones who originally made the game as well. So it's like they originally made the game, and they're the ones coming to Rockstar saying, hey, we want to do this. Can we do this? And Rockstar saying, yes, because we love money.
I was going to say, yes, please. We will take that money. Yeah.
We will take all of the money. No questions asked.
Clearly, we do not care about creative pursuits as far as our own projects. Give us money. That's what we like. Getting something for nothing.
Right? I mean, that's Grand Theft Auto 5 is just like printing
Ding,
money.
ding.
They don't care about content. They care about money. So I'm glad someone cares about content, though, because then we at least still get some cool stuff like Max Payne 1 and 2 remake. So now those were originally PS2 games. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've touched a Max Payne game. Yeah, they were both PS2 games.
Yep. 3 was a PS3 game, I think, though.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I ever played 3. I think I even only ever played like 1. Like, I rented it one time from Blockbuster. I don't know if I ever even touched 2, but I remember it being a super fun game. And the fact that, hey, they could be coming back and looking better than ever, I'm stoked.
I'll take that.
Yeah, not much more on that. And like they said, it could be quite a few years. It's still an early kind of development stage right now, but get hyped. Max Payne. And who knows, this might be, I wonder if this will almost be like a revival of the series. Like, if they'll try to treat it more, almost like a soft reboot. And if, I wonder if that's an interest of theirs to like continue on the series, or if they really do just want to remake the originals and leave it at that. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting that they did 1 and 2 and didn't bother to do 3. I think 3 is still recent enough to where all you'd have to do is remaster that one and maybe, fix a couple of gameplay elements here and there, and then it could stand alongside the other. Unless they're making 1 and 2 in Unreal Engine 5, then that's going to be a big graphical difference between 1, 2, and 3.
But they've already said, they're not. They're using their own engine. So
okay,
yeah. Which actually, I wonder what engine Kingdom Hearts is using. Like, if that's Unreal 5.
Word on the street is that it is.
Because, I mean, they've used Unreal in the past, right? They've used Unreal 4 for at least Kingdom Hearts 3 was Unreal Engine 3.
It almost wasn't, yeah.
I don't know if any of their other games have, but interesting.
Yeah, word on the street is that Kingdom Hearts 4 is Unreal 5.
Okay. Dang. That was actually another big news. I didn't put it in the news docket this week for the episode, but Unreal 5 is officially released to the public. So anyone can use Unreal 5 now, which I was almost like wanting to look into it, see if I could download on my computer. Because I used to have Unreal 4 on my computer and I'd tinker around with it. I'm like, so maybe after the show, I'll see if I can download 5.
Maybe they don't let you get it for your own safety. You already fried one graphics card.
That's true. That was Flight Simulator, though. I tried to do Flight Simulator on max settings.
Yeah, that was Flight. Imagine what an entire engine is going to do, Garrett.
I mean, you never know. What's the worst that'll happen?
Have it your way.
What's the worst that'll happen? Just a puff of
smoke. You'll fry your graphics card, and we won't be able to record for like 4 weeks.
We'll see. I'll have to buy a graphics card off the black market and pay with it with my kidney or something. All right, this last news story comes to us from Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. And they write, Ghost Recon sequel reportedly in development. The 17th installment in the series could be on the way. A new Ghost Recon game is reportedly in development at Ubisoft. Sources told Kotaku that codename Over will be the series' latest and could be released in fiscal year 2023, meaning sometime next year. This is a separate project from Ghost Recon Frontline, which is a free-to-play battle royale that we saw a delay within a week of being revealed last October. I remember that. It got announced, and then within the week, they're like, we're going to delay it because no one's really hot on it. Kotaku also reported that development on Frontline is expectedly shaky as the project is undergoing a full reset with no launch date anytime soon. But mumblings of Ghost Recon Over came soon after Ubisoft announced it was ending content support for its previous game, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The codename Project Over had also been previously spotted in a GeForce Now leak last year. So having launched in October 2019, Breakpoint wasn't wonderfully received, but had more than 2 years of continuous support from Ubisoft before its final piece of new content was released last November. Ubisoft said on Twitter, the last 4 months marked the release of our final piece of content, the brand new Operation Motherland mode, tons of new items, including 20th anniversary, iconic outfits, and quartz items for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We will maintain the servers for both Wildlands and Breakpoint, and we truly hope you will continue to enjoy the game and have fun playing in solo or co-op with your friends. So I was stoked about this because I am a big fan of Ghost Recon, and I loved Ghost Recon, not Breakpoint, Wildlands. That was the one that came out maybe like 4 or 5 years ago now. 4 years ago, I think. And then Breakpoint came out like 2 years ago, 2019, I think it was, or 2020. Breakpoint was not good. Breakpoint was bad. They used the same engine and a lot of the same assets, but they made it like an online only 4-player co-op thing. I did not like that. I'd like, at least in Wildlands, you could do 4-player co-op, but it was an option. It was like, okay, you can either play with 3 other AI that kind of just follow your instructions. You can give them commands and like do, take down like drug dealers, a base of operations and stuff. Like that was a cool thing with Wildlands. It's totally open world, huge, like kind of world based off of, I think it's supposed to be Colombia or Venezuela or something like that. I think Colombia. Gorgeous world, fantastic gameplay, fun story. And then Breakpoint came out and they're like, hey, all those things you liked, we're shrinking we're shrinking up the world, and now you're kind of forced to play online even if you're playing solo. Like you still have to be online. It's like, well, what if I don't have internet? Oh, you can't play the game. Like your internet dies and you're just a brick. It was just really bad. It had so much jank to it. I played like the beta, and the beta was really bad. Lots of issues. So I'm excited for kind of a refresh for Ghost Recon. Let's see if
That's what I was getting ready to ask is, are you like genuinely excited about this new one?
Yeah. So
because codename Over is an awful codename.
It is not a great codename. But I hope with how poorly Breakpoint was received and they know how badly it was received. Like they know what they did. I would like
they know what you know what you did.
I would like to think they'd kind of go back to basics of, well, not back to basics, but go back to like the Wildlands model and then kind of start from there. Like instead of kind of trying to springboard off a breakpoint, I really hope they go like, okay, Wildlands did really good. Let's go from there again and see what we can do. So as long as that's kind of what their basis is for the next game, then I'm 100% in. Like if it's, it doesn't have to be taking out drug cartels anymore. Like obviously they've already used that storyline once, to do it again.
Death, yeah.
Would be kind of like, okay, let's move on to the next thing. But just that gameplay, that having a huge open world like that, vehicles and guns that you can just call in from at any time, anywhere. Give me more of that. That's what I want. That's what I'm stoked about. And because I did the beta for Wildlands as well. So, and I remember I just teamed up with like 3 randos online because none of my friends would have gotten the beta. And we had a blast for like a month. Basically, we just would get on and never like we'd be like message each other through PSN and be like, hey, like you're gonna be playing this weekend, like hooking up. It was the craziest thing because for me, like I'm not an online player, so for me to jump onto a random online game, want to be online and play with and be willing to play with random people. Like we had so much freaking fun, both like seriously playing and just goofing off in the world. Cause that was a fun thing. It was like a huge playground where it's like, all right, let's get down to the nitty gritty and do this operation. And then the next thing is like, let's go up to the top of the mountain and pack 20 C4 underneath a Humvee and see if we can launch it over the edge of a mountain or something like that type of stuff. So much fun. So yeah, I'm in. Ubisoft, please just don't screw this up. Obviously we don't have any official news from Ubisoft yet. This is all kind of stuff from inside scoop stuff from someone working there, but Ubisoft is bad at keeping secrets, and so that's all. I feel like it's only a matter of time. Now that this is out, we'll probably hear more about it. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, you keep me posted. Let me know if it's something worth checking out.
Oh, I will. Do you have any experience with Ghost Recon at all?
The last one I played was Advanced Warfighter. So that one was 2, I think, right?
That was on
original Xbox, I believe.
PS2. That sounds about right. PS2, or was that early PS3 even? I can't remember.
No, because the first one was on that generation, wasn't it? The first one was PS2 Xbox.
What was it called? Advanced what was it?
Yeah, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter or something like that.
2? You played the sequel?
Mm-hmm.
Or just the
well,
first
I played
one?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Mm-hmm. So the second one was on 360 and PS3 because I remember that one. I played that one on Xbox 360, but the first one, Advanced Warfighter, let's see, was on
Get my consoles mixed up.
PS2 and 360. That's weird. PS2 and 360? What? Oh, and
hey,
Xbox.
Man, look, 360 was.
And Xbox. This is PlayStation 2, Xbox, and X. So they must have, that's weird. So it actually released on both Xbox and 360 separately. Interesting.
360 was expensive and hard to get at the time, all right? It was selling out. You had to do what you had to do.
I was more thinking it was weird that it wasn't on PS3. Like it says PS2, Xbox, and 360, and it's like no PS3 in sight. It's like, okay.
Well, remember, that was around the time when those consoles first started coming out, and everybody hated developing for PS3. So
that's true.
It was definitely a possibility.
Yeah, they were just like, screw that. We're not messing with that. Oh man, cool. Well, yeah, those were good ones. Advanced Warfighter was honestly probably up there with the best of the best. Although that was before the open world aspect of the game kind of came into it. So as far as a straightforward first-person shooter, they were pretty cool. But Wildlands was a blast. All right. That's it for the news this week. Thank you so much for listening. And now I got a bone to pick with you guys just a little bit. I did listen to like 30 seconds before the ad because I had to know where to cut it. Mm. You guys are making so much fun of me. I don't sound like that when I do that. Like do your impression of me going into the ad. I want to hear it again. Please go ahead.
How do you normally go into it? Let me see. Oh my God. I was on fire that episode. Now I can't think of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're shaking in your
Wait
boots
a minute.
now.
I think I got it. That's the end of our stories. And now it's time for the ad.
So you make me sound like I got this like deep, raspy smoker's voice. It's for the ad. Or like I'm saying like an action movie trailer or something. Like, do I really sound like that?
Welcome to our Patreon. I'm Garrett Morlang.
Okay. All right. Well, it is now time for the
It's
ad.
a good Garrett. It's a good Garrett.
Okay.
Ask JJ. He'll tell you.
I guess I need to listen to myself. So through my own ears, I know this is a weird thing, but like you sound different to yourself. So in
Absolutely.
my ears, I always sound like I have a way higher pitch voice. Like I always feel like my voice is can be kind of like
you definitely have the deepest voice out of all three of us
okay.
by a good margin.
See, I don't really pay attention when I edit normally, and
It goes JJ, then it goes me, then it goes you.
Okay, all right,
Because
interesting.
JJ's way up here like this.
Well, that's because he's just always stressed. I think if he just relaxed, he'd have a lower voice, but he's always like a big ball of stress and tension. Oh, man. All right. I'll take it. All right. It's now time for the ad.
See, I did it perfect.
All right, guys. If you want to support us, if you love what we do, love our show, love our podcast, all of the ones we're making now, we got this show, we got Super Gamer Book Club, we're also producing a wrestling show for JJ. Go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month and get episodes early and ad-free. That's right. You can get this show if you're not watching live over at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys while we record it. You can get it the night we record it. I try to pump it out there as fast as possible, get it up to you guys. You can listen in and get it before everyone else when it comes out on Wednesday. $5 a month. You can get our show notes early. You're going to know what we're talking about the day before. You can leave your own comments, questions, concerns right on the show notes for me to see and bring up on the show if we need to. $10 a month. You got our Super Gamer sponsor tier where you get shout outs on the show. And then obviously the top tier Patreon producer tier where you get to pitch a segment to us and kind of contribute to the show and be a part of the inner circle a little bit. You can get to share things. JJ's probably going to make fun of you. You just never know what's going to happen. So support us at $15 a month. If you really, truly love what we're doing, we want to help us excel. And if you have a cool segment idea that you want to pitch, go ahead, hit us up over there and we'd gladly take your ideas. You can also get or help us out over at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys if you support us. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Gaming.
Prime Gaming.
Dang it! Are you kidding me? One of these times I have to get it right. Like I've guessed it wrong.
I feel like you're doing
time.
this on purpose. You must be doing this on purpose at this point.
It's Prime.
We do this every week.
Prime Gaming. That's what it's called.
Yes.
I feel like you're switching it. I feel like I said that before, and you're like, no, it's Amazon
been Prime
Gaming.
Gaming forever.
No.
Amazon Prime Gaming.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll take your word for it. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, and that means you have a free subscription over at Twitch. Please serve that free subscription to us. It costs you $0. We give $5. Either way, the money comes out of Jeff Bezos' pockets. I don't care what the name of the subscription is, but just give us some money.
Does it? Because I don't even know if we're telling people to go to the right place now. Good grief.
Oh, man. Go over there, support us. And if you subscribe, like I said, it helps support the channel. And also, you get some cool emotes that you can use around the Twitch sphere on other streams. So yeah, support us over there. We'd very much appreciate it. All right. It's time to get back to our show. So hi to your mother for me. All right, here
Mark
we are.
Wahlberg over there?
a little Mark Wahlberg. I just feeling
Say hi to your mother for me. Hey,
feel a little Marky over
Optimus.
here. Adrian, what's your plan?
I am still deep in the trenches in Hyrule with Breath of the Wild. I just made it to Eventide Island. I don't know if you remember old Eventide.
Oh, yes, I do.
Hoo-wee, that is not for the faint of heart. For the listeners out there who haven't played Breath of the Wild before, basically, I'm not going to say anything other than it's survival mode, and they take everything.
They take it all.
And you got to make it.
The first time I went to that island, I was like, I thought I broke something. Like I thought like I broke my save or like broke the game or something. Because I was like, what is happening? What, like, oh no, like did I get corrupt my file? Like what is going on? I was so confused. And then you eventually, well, I think I died. And then it resets you off the island, add all my things again. I'm like, what's going on? And then I should go stroll back over there. And then it's all gone again. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is happening? Yeah, no, it's bad news. Bad news, that island.
But you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's some goodies waiting on the other side of that rainbow for you.
There are some goodies.
But yeah, that's kind of all the time, or that's the only thing that I've had time to play this past week. You bring the Switch with you, and whenever you get a few minutes to downtime, you can pop it on for a little bit. So
nice. I played very little while I was sick. A lot of people think like, oh, you're sick, so you're probably playing video games all the time, but that's not the case.
Really.
That's not the case.
I kind of want to go to sleep.
Because, yeah, most of the time you just want to go to sleep. And then even the times I wasn't sleeping, I was still kind of like... So here's the deal. When you're married and you have kids, you can't have fun when you're around your kids.
This is not a good pitch for having a family, by the way. I just want you to know that.
You can no longer have fun when your kids are around. When it's just me and my wife, it was fine. Like, okay, yeah, I'm sick. I'm just going to play a game. But when you have kids and the wife is also having to take care of the kids and the kids are sick and the wife is kind of sick and I'm sick, like we're all sick, but she's not that sick. So she's the one who's having to kind of take care of the kids more because I'm like flu level and she's just like sniffles level. It's not a good look as a husband to just be kicking it playing video games. So really you just lose all, ability to have fun when you're sick and when you're married.
I hear you, but that's also self-imposed. You know what I mean? Nobody made you guys have kids.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault but my own. I brought this on myself. I'm just saying it is a thing now. And it also means I just don't get to play video games anymore.
And I mean that to say that I say that to say that you are not making a very good sale on this kid idea. It's just I don't see the benefits here. Like, I mean, even when I'm sick, I gotta I gotta run behind them. I can't even sleep. I can't play games.
No.
No. You know what I mean? And they're not old enough to where they can really do anything contributing to the household, right? They can't go out and mow the lawn right now. What are they, like 5, maybe almost 5, 6?
The oldest is 4 and the youngest is 1.5. So
right.
Yeah, no, at the point I'm at now, it's not ideal. I'm waiting for the payoff though in about probably
this is a multi-year investment we're talking about here.
It is. It's like very much like kind of doing the best you can now, so that way in a few years it's going to be amazing. So like in about 2 years for my oldest and about 3 years, maybe 4 years for my youngest, and then we're going to be dialed in. It's going to be fantastic. And it's just going to be smooth sailing because then they will be mowing the lawn, doing all the chores, doing the dishes, and I'll just get to kick it. So I just saw an Instagram reel today that was exactly that. It was this dad just like, I think he just said like 7 years in the making, and he's just like kicking it on the front porch on his phone, like drinking a beer, and it just all of a sudden this camera zooms past him, and it's like his kid out on the lawn, like mowing, and he's just like kicking it, feet up, like watching. I was like, oh, I can't wait for the day. Can't wait.
Man, you're braver than me. That is an investment I am not willing to make right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? Is it really ever worth it though? Because CS, they mowed my lawn for about 10 years. And then they have college I have to pay for. So, although I could just do what my parents did to me, and they're just like, "Hey, sorry, we're poor. We can't pay for college. You got to pay for it yourself." So I just didn't go.
Have fun with these student loans.
No, just didn't go. Just screw it. I'm not going to college.
Oh,
I'm too poor for that. That's not true. I went to a Bible college that was super cheap, really cheap. And then after that, I'm like, now I'm done. Now no more college. I got my associates. I'm out.
Now I'm gonna go stomp on some ants for a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kill some bugs for a little bit. I worked at a car dealership for a little bit. You know, now here I am just making websites. Who would have thought? Not me. Anyways, with all that to say, I did play a little bit of the new Lego Star Wars game.
And now let me preface this. Are you a Lego game fan?
So no, I mentioned that. Well, yes and no. I mentioned in the Discord earlier this week. Hey, late last week? What's the deal with this new Star Wars game coming out? I have not played a Lego game since Lego Island and Lego Land on the PC, which was a 1998 and like 2000 games. I think Island came out in 98, and then Lego Land was from 2000. Banger games, fantastic games. Love those games, but I've not touched a Lego game since then. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's so good, it's great." Junior obviously was like, "Oh, I only play Lego games because I'm like 10." And, I mean, you piped in, you're like, "Lego games are great, like you should check them out." I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I've seen clips and trailers and people stream them. They look fun. I enjoy the humor that I see in it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I love Star Wars and I love Legos. Like, let's check it out. And I jumped in, and I guess I just wasn't. I'm unsure of the format at this point. Like, I'm not sure what's going on, because I feel like I'm going through the story extremely fast. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that. Like, I feel like I've only played
it's 9 movies.
Like 30 minutes, and I'm already like almost done with episode 1. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, they have to cover 9 movies, so they're gonna make it go as. It's definitely a truncated version of each movie in order for them to fit the entire 1 through 9 in there.
I guess I just assumed it would be more like.
It's also just the intro chapter.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just assumed it was like, not that it would be a full length of the movie, but that it would be. I thought this was
Trust
more.
me when I tell you this, you don't want a 20-hour Lego game. You don't.
I thought this was more of like a compilation of games that had already come out before. Cause so like when these were released individually, were they also this short? Or were they longer versions? They've just been truncated down over the years. And
Lego games are themselves are not particularly long. You can play them for a long time because of the completionist objectives that they have and the unlockables that you can get if you continue to play and grind and go.
Right.
But as like if you're going start to finish A to B, no, they're not very long at all.
So like when Star Wars Episode 1, because that's what I started with, when that game originally came out on PlayStation 2, I don't know. I don't even know if they had a Star Wars Episode 1 Lego game. Probably not. Let's just say Star Wars Episode 4, maybe. So that game was only like an hour long? Like
No, it was more than that.
Or did they only ever release them in collections? Like maybe that's their trick, is they've only ever just released them in collections. I thought they had individual games.
No, because I remember episodes 1, 2, and 3 having their own games. And I remember like the original Lego Star Wars being its own thing. I think honestly, it sounds like they're doing a smash cut of all 9 movies and just making you play it as one big campaign. I don't think they're focusing on any one story specifically.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So
It's like snapshots of the movies.
Okay, yeah, because I just typed in Lego Star Wars on how long to beat, and apparently, The Force Awakens, that's just one movie, is 9 hours to beat, and apparently people are beating Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which is a new one, the main story, in 16 hours.
Okay, so it is a bit supersized. So you probably just got, like I said, an intro chapter where it was 30 minutes just to get you used to the fundamentals.
But no, I'm playing Star Wars episode, and I could have picked any chapter I wanted, or any beginning chapter. Like when it first fires up, it says, "Do you want to start with episode 1, episode 4, or episode 7?" And I picked episode 1 because I wanted to play them in chronological order, as far as when like the events, not when they came out. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is just a shorter game, but that just seems weird for like episode 1
it
to
does,
be beaten in like
when
an
you think
hour.
about the fact that the studio, remember there was all those articles about them having a crunch to get stuff done. I wouldn't be surprised if this was probably one of the casualties of it having to be crunched like that. Oh, that reminds me, what are you playing it on?
PS5.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. So you're getting all the nice traced rays and reflections and high polygons and
of course
whatnot.
If I'm gonna play the brand spanking new Lego Star Wars game, it's gotta have ray tracing, baby.
Looks good, man.
I wouldn't want to play a Lego game any other way but with ray tracing. But no, I am enjoying it. With all that to say, I am actually enjoying the game, because again, like the story is a Star Wars, which is fun. Their little like jokes and things they're throwing in there are actually kind of funny. I'm really enjoying that. Like they just kind of like expand certain areas, which is kind of actually neat. Like you go to episode 1, you go to Mos Eisley, and it's like, oh, okay, this is really cool. You get to just wander around Mos Eisley for a little bit. You get to do the pod racer race, which took me a few tries. That was like really difficult. It's fun. I haven't really unlocked that many characters yet, but I assume that'll just come with playing more, I hope.
Yep, that's usually the tradition in Lego games.
And just doing like side quests, because there's like, I feel like there's been a lot of things like I come up against in the world where I need a protocol droid, and I still don't have a protocol droid unlocked yet. Like I don't have a C-3PO or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I guess apparently there's something called free play mode or something like that, or open play or something like that. It's not on the main menu, but it keeps coming up like, oh, well, things you can't complete now in story mode, you can come back later in free play. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is, but apparently it's a thing. Apparently it's a thing that'll unlock eventually, so I can come back later. So yeah, it's cool. It's fun. The story is interesting, and I'm probably going to keep playing it. And what's cool is it's actually a co-op game, like pick up co-op at any time. Like it's at all times in the top corner of the screen. It just says like,
most of them are like that. We're like that.
Yeah, it just says like press start on a new controller to jump in. I was like, that's cool. Jump in, jump out co-op. That way, like my wife could play, Shep could play.
I don't know why some developers see this as so easy to do, and some are like, it's our worst nightmare. We can never get it done for drop in, drop out
right?
Co-op. So weird.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. That's all I've played pretty much. Thank you guys all so much for listening this week. Appreciate each and every one of you guys who come back and support the show just by downloading through podcast services and listening, watching us over at youtube.com/supergamerboys, catching us on Monday nights on Twitch when we're recording live. You are all awesome. Thank you so much for that. And if you remember, please like the video on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. On your favorite podcast services, rate and review us if you can. That helps tremendously. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. Go over there if you want to support us. You can throw us just $1 a month, all the way up to $15 a month. Get different perks for that. Again, that helps us buy games, upgrade equipment, pay for domains and URLs and website hosting, all that stuff. Each and every month. So that way we can keep bringing you guys more and more content, more shows. sgbstore.com. You can go over there and get some sweet merch. My new face mask came in the mail today. For the longest time, I've been using the original one, the purple one, and it was getting all stretched out and wore out and kind of dirty. I keep washing it. It's like not looking clean. Like the white's not white anymore on it. I'm like, I think I need a new mask. So I got the black one now. And
stealth.
let me tell you, yeah, it's like black
incognito
with like the Super Gamer Boys logo just on like the right cheek. Pretty sick. So
some would call it night mode.
Night mode. So go check that out over there. sgbstore.com.
Dude, our YouTube is moving. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but we've got like almost 225 subs.
Yeah,
like we're trekking to 300, man.
Yeah, so we kind of plateaued for a little bit at like 220 for a while, and then we actually lost a bunch. Like people started unsubscribing, but then just in like the last month, it's jumped back up to 224. Like we've gotten like I think this is +6 here. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what we did different, but all of a sudden. Well, they're coming back. People are coming back. So
that's fine. Come on back.
Tell your friends. Share our YouTube channel. Get them to subscribe. They won't regret it. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Remember, you can find them over on Spotify and Apple Music. You can find the links to the Spotify in the show description below, both on YouTube and on podcast services. I make sure that's always in the show description. So check the show notes. All the links for everything are always in there, like supergamerboys.com, where you can find us during the week. Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
I am any and everywhere at Homeboy.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. So, Adrian, if you wouldn't mind taking us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Adrian the Homeboy Holmes, and for... what would JJ call you?
Probably something obscene.
Let's just do a classic. Gruesome Garrett Morlang. Thank you very much for another episode of the Super Gamer Boys podcast.
We will catch you on the flippity flop.
JJ sucks.
JJ sucks.